Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're checking out a Megami Device kit, and I love the feeling of being able to rip off the tissue here. This is not necessarily a new release. This has been out for a little while. It's the Jinai version of Aika Aikawa. I really enjoyed the original version of Aika Aikawa. This one is a recolored version and has a little bit different kind of accessories and stuff with it, so it should be very cool. As you can see, it is in the smaller box, but it's pretty thick here, so let's go ahead and check it out for today's video. And as usual for the Megami Device line, we have some beautiful presentation here with the box and the artwork. A little bit harder to see compared to the black box Megami Device kits where the background is in matte finish and the illustration, all the text is in a gloss finish. You have that with this one here as well. So really nice gloss for everything except for the background, but with it being in white, it's kind of less noticeable. But the white background is in a matte finish. Really nice character illustration here on the front with that kind of glowing, what looks, I always thought that looks like a watermelon, but it's not, but very watermelon kind of looking accessory there that she has. And I do really like the new color scheme and everything here for Aika Aikawa here in this new version. Just check out the text here on the front. It says Aika Aikawa appears in her exclusive Another Gear and Ace Suit V. Besides the new coloration, her in-game skills during Megami battles are fully recreated. Featured is Aika's new SP Vernal Fluff that can both weaken opponents and heal allies, allowing her to play a role as a healer in long-lasting battles. So I'll say definitely the English has improved, I think, over past versions. The past ones have been like kind of a little bit goofy. That one does sound pretty good though for the English on that, so that looks pretty good there on the side, just the same artwork as what's on the front. On the bottom of the box here we have some images of the kit itself. This is obviously a fully painted and decaled version of that. There it is without all the armor on there. It's kind of unarmored version, and here's some more action shots showing some of the included accessories and weapons. Everything that you have included here with that. She once again comes with that big massive hammer weapon, which is really cool. And here's a look at the unpainted kit, just built straight out of the box without anything else done on that. And I think it looks pretty good. Around on the other side, we have a look at our included face option parts here for this one, which look pretty nice, and then decals included as well. We're gonna have two different sets of decals, one for the eyes, one for the markings. So we'll take a look at those in just a second. The list price here for this one coming in at 7,400 yen. And as you can see, it's a pretty thick box, like I said, so let's go ahead and pop this open and see what we got in here. A lot of that kind of pink and peach kind of color design, which I think is an interesting and unique color. But before we take a look at the rest of the contents, let's just take a look quickly here at the instruction manual. We have the illustration from the front right there, some titling on the back side. We have the code card in here. If you guys are playing the game, feel free to use that because I'm not going to. And on the inside of the manual, some more information here about the Alice Gear Aegis game, some more images like what we've seen on the outside of the box. A little bit different image here over here for these, but again, great reference guide for posing the kit if you want to, or if you're struggling with posing the kit, just refer to the images in the manual. Here's our parts list, and then from then on we're into the construction of the kit. So skipping through all of the construction where you build the basic body first and then all the armor and accessories and everything else. Once we get all the way here to the very end, we've got our color and decal guide. So all the colors listed right there for you. Decals are going to go mostly there for the face, but as we saw, we are going to have some decals that are going to go around on the rest of the design around on there. So there's a front and back view of the kit showing where the decals should be placed. And here's a look at the decal sheet. So like I said, we've got two of them, both kind of small, just some decals here for around on the kit, which do look pretty cool. This one here for like her drone as well. And then all of our eye decals that we have included, which look very nice. And we're gonna have a number of pre-painted parts here. It looks like some black maybe printed on these pink parts there for the waist, some light pink printed on this light gray color there, some parts for the arms it looks like, and then some more parts here for the body, the white printed on these black parts, or pink printed on some more black parts there, and then a couple of shoulder parts there, it looks like, with some pink printed on the skin tone color, and our face plate option parts here, which as usual look really nice. And now before we take a look at all these runners, I just thought that this would be very illustrative for you guys to show why these kits, some of these kits are as expensive as they are, because this kit has so many runners and there's 37 different individual runners here with this, and some of those are doubled, so even more runners in total, but 37 unique runners means that there's 37 molds required to make this kit. And one of the reasons for that is that because to mold multiple colors onto the same runner, Bandai has a copyright on that technology. So other companies aren't actually able to do that, to mold multiple colors onto the same runner. So every single color needs to be printed on a separate runner. That is another reason what drives up the cost of these. And one of the reasons that what makes these Kotobukiya kits so nice is because we have so many different colors with them. Straight out of the box, they look so nice with all the different colors and everything represented so nicely. It just means that there's a lot of runners required to make them as good as they look. But alright, so let's get into it here with our hand parts. We've got the full array of hands: open expressive hands, open resting hands, closed fists, weapon holding hands, and everything is available here in black and gray. Runner A in this kind of peachish pink kind of color here is going to be all of our hair parts. But then runner A1 is going to be in a different shade of pink there, as you can see, to compare the two of them. This is going to be a more kind of pure pink kind of color there for some of the armor. Runner B and B1 are going to be the majority of our skin tone parts here for the kit. You'll notice this a lot as we're going through the runners. It'll be B and then B1 rather than B1 and B2. It's kind of interesting, but here is runner C1 for some parts here in black. Runner D is some more parts here in pink, and runner D1 is going to be a few parts there in this kind of metallic gunmetal kind of color. Runner E we have two of. It's going to be our wrist joint parts, so we've got them in black and in gray to go with our black and gray hands. And then runner E1 is some additional hair parts here in that kind of peachish pink kind of color. Runner F is going to be our base part here in a clear orange, looking very nice. And then runner F1 is some parts in a kind of off-white color. Actually, if we look really close, this is actually a metallic injected kind of very, very light rosy pink kind of color there. It is slightly metallic. Very interesting. And our first of the G runners here is in this kind of medium warm gray color there. The second G runner is in also, once again, a very, very light pink, kind of off-white pink kind of color. And then runner G1 is also in a light pink, but a little bit darker than the previous runner here for those. Runner H we have two of in this kind of dark purplish, dark navy blue, purplish kind of color there. And then runner H1 is one single off-white pink color here. Runner I is a larger runner here for some of the equipment, once again in that light pink color. And I1 is going to be our clear green parts there for her new accessory. Runner J is some more kind of weapon handle parts here, mostly just some more parts there in this medium gray color. We have these runner J's as well, are going to be here in that off-white pink. Runners K and L are some more parts here in light pink. Runner L is a larger runner. We've got two of these with a lot of parts on there. Looks like mostly for the legs and some other parts on there. Runner M is some more parts in that dark navy blue, kind of purplish color here. We also have this runner M, which is going to be a single little part there for the drone. And this tiny runner is also labeled runner M here for these parts in medium gray. Runners N, O, and Q are going to be some more clear parts. Runner N here in clear blue. O in this kind of clear black there for the drone, and then Q, some more parts there in clear blue. Runner R in this kind of fluorescent pink color here, which should make for a very bright, nice accent there. We got two of those. Runner T in a darker pink, kind of maroon kind of color there. Runner U we have two of, one in gray, one in black. Runner W, a few more parts there in that light pink off-white color. Runner X, a couple more hand parts here in gray. And finally, Runner Z here we have once again in black and in gray, and that's it. Alright guys, here she is all put together. Aika Aikawa Jinai looking very nice here once again, and now in this pink version. And then we'll take a look at the new accessory basically that we have with this and all the other accessories here in just a moment. But beautiful kit as always, lovely design, and I really like all the different aspects here of this one, from the mecha legs to those floating drone devices. And then of course she's got some awesome weaponry included as well, which we'll get into here in just a second. But absolutely lovely kit here once again. Let's go ahead and get into it. So obviously one of our accessories here is just going to be our included stand. As always, we have a couple of connection pieces here up at the top, one which is at an angle, one which is at just a straight connection here, which we're not really going to use for the time being. But as always, the connection stand has a ball joint at the top and a ball joint at the bottom, and it may be simple, but holds the kit up perfectly well and works nicely. That connects into these effect parts, which also hold the drones up here. Now, these ones as they are don't really do anything except they just kind of float up there. You can adjust the angle of them, of course, and that's pretty much much it. And they are not symmetrical, even though they kind of appear, as you can see. One goes off to the right and one goes off to the left, so make sure that you're careful about the placement of those. But then we do have her other actual drone here, which has these little parts on the side, which open out like that, and the clear black piece on the front also looks very cool. You have some nice detail inside there. It's kind of hard to see under the clear black, but that just flies along like that. You can plug this onto a base with that hole right there on the back. This part here also moves a little bit. I'm not exactly sure entirely why, but that also moves. And then we have an option piece for the clear black part on the front that has this peg on the bottom. So depending on how you want to attach this onto a stand, you could opt for this one instead. And then that will obviously then plug onto, wherever you might want to plug that onto, but pretty cool little accessory there. Back to the main kit, if you didn't want to have these headdress parts there on the front, you have an optional piece of hair right here, which will allow you to have just the hair without anything on the head. And then of course our face options, as always, looking very nice for this. So pretty much like a very calm character here, just based on the face options that we have. Nothing really super expressive, but some nice face options there. We've got our option arms for the normal mode or the unarmored mode here. And as you can see, even the armored ones don't have a ton of armor on them. Basically, they're in a different color and have a couple little bits of armor at the top and bottom. The unarmored arms here are just in pink and black, and we have pink hands. So we are going to have full sets of hands, as you guys saw in the unboxing, in both gray and in black for whichever option parts you want to use. And then similarly for the unarmored legs here, they're just going to be in pink and black here with some nice design on them. Typical points of articulation here in the toes, ankles, and a knee there. You're just going to swap it right at the middle of the thigh. That's a kind of a cool feature that you can do on the armored legs. These actually kind of pop out a little bit. You can pull them a little bit extended away from the leg, and the top part lifts up like so, and then the bottom part, we're actually going to swap that out. That piece having a short connection, you're going to swap that for this other piece here with a little bit longer connection. So when you plug that in, it's also going to give the appearance of being sort of expanded out like that. So you have a kind of the expanded form of this equipment here on the side of the leg like that, which is pretty cool looking. We've got our typical array of some option neck pieces here for if you wanted to put a different head onto this kit, like a frame arm scroll head or something, or if you wanted to put this head onto a Figma, for example. And then for her weaponry, we've got this pretty cool rifle here, which is made up of a couple of sections. You got kind of this front section like that, which you could omit if you wanted to just have it like so, or this part, which you could omit or swap this and have it just like that with this kind of missile pod attached onto the front of there, something like that. So you can use this in obviously a couple of different ways, but it's a pretty awesome accessory for just a rifle, and not a very large rifle too by any means. It sort of matches the character being in sort of a little bit kind of smaller size rifle design there. But then conversely, we have her massive hammer weapon, which is going to be about 19 centimeters in length. Much longer than the character is tall there, but it's mostly just handle. You just have this big massive section here at the end, which doesn't really do anything, just looks cool. And then the new color scheme looks nice there with that kind of added hot pink. But as you can see, yeah, that big section on the end, it is going to be very heavy. So you are going to be maybe slightly limited depending on how you want to pose it. You may have to use an additional stand to just hold up the head of this. If you wanted to have her holding on to the end and having the head like way out there like that, you're probably going to have some weight issues, and it's going to drop her wrists or arms down a bit. And so using an additional stand, which unfortunately was not included, may be a good idea for just trying to keep this supported, again, depending on your pose. And then we have her new special SP gear, which is just this clear ball here. And there's a hard point on this for if you wanted to plug this onto a stand, but otherwise there's nothing really else that you can do with this. It's a kind of cool new thing that she can just hold in her hands, and that's pretty much all that you can really do with that. So there it is. So all right, let's take a look at the kit in a few different poses now, in both the armored and unarmored forms, and with the various weaponry here. Another really awesome version of this kit. I highly recommend it. If you guys have not seen my review of the original version, you can go back and check that out. But as it goes with this being a pretty typical Megami Device kit, you have your standard points of articulation. You do have some seam lines here and there throughout the design, but overall some really nice color separation, really nice details throughout, and obviously just straight out of the box is going to look fantastic. But if you do want to go in and maybe do a little bit of panel lining, in this case, if you had like a pink panel line marker, if it's like a little bit darker kind of pink color, I think that would actually work really well, especially against like the lighter pink colors, which make up the majority of the armor pieces for this kit, where you do have a lot of nice detail that does get a little bit lost because of the light color of those armor pieces. But if you were just to bring out that detail a little bit with some subtle pink paneling, I think would look really, really nice. And that would just be a way to improve the look of the kit with like minimal efforts, obviously short of fully painting the kit. But as always, an awesome array of weapons and accessories with this one, with the new accessory not really being anything too magnificent by any means, but it's a cool new accessory that we have with the clear green ball SP gear included. But like I said, I do really like her standard equipment of the rifle, the massive hammer, the drone equipment is also cool. So you have plenty to work with this set. If you missed the release of the original version, definitely check out this new version, or whichever one you can get your hands on, or both. Honestly, I would definitely recommend them if you're a fan of the Megami Device kits. But of course, let me know your opinions, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you guys think about this new version of Aika Aikawa? And if you guys want to check out some more Megami Device kits or anything else from Kotobukiya, you can check the link in the video description to USA Gundam Store. Got all sorts of great stuff there for you guys to check out. Definitely check out the selection on the website. As always, guys, if you could leave a like while you're here, make sure that you're subscribed. That helps out a great deal. I really appreciate all your guys' support. Thank you so much. Until next time, hope you all have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.